I think we're live right now, so just give me a thumbs up if you are here watching this recording. So glad to have you because we're going to talk about bridging the generational gap a little bit today and a little bit about the training that I'm offering. So again, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're here or a little heart. And if you are listening to the recording, feel free to do that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And I think you're going to find that this is going to be super interesting. So we're going to talk a little bit more about bridging the generational gap. And, like I said before, I most definitely would like to invite you to my training on this. This can apply literally to any situation, whether it's school or just personal life or professional life at a different job, things like that. It's totally transferable to pretty much any situation. So I think that you're really going to benefit from this, teachers or otherwise. Okay, so you can find the link to the training in the box below and you can go ahead and register there. But let's go ahead and start talking a little bit more about it. So at some point, all of us, right, we're going to find ourselves in a challenging situation that really and truly has everything to do with the generational gap. I at first didn't realize that that was what was happening, but it definitely is. And so I remember, my first couple years of teaching that I honestly, I had a lot in common with my students. We could relate with like movies and music and just all these different things. I mean, I thought to myself, generation gap? What generation gap? There's no generation gap. But it wasn't until everything changed. And it was pretty much sudden and abrupt. And all of a sudden, I couldn't understand like how they were talking, their language. But the bottom line is that it wasn't just with my students. I felt a gap also between my colleagues, right? So it was so much more than just, like slang and things like that. It was so much deeper than that. I truly felt misunderstood by people. And I also felt like I couldn't understand people's thought processes because they were so far off from mine on both ends of the spectrum. I'm like, where are these people coming from, right? And then, I also thought to myself, this has happened several times, and I thought to myself, why do I seem to relate more with more mature teachers than with the teachers that are my own age? Right? Where did that come from? Is that just random that happened that way? No, it's actually not. There's a massive disconnect there, but it's not random, and it is fixable. So, for me, I just kept asking myself, really and truly, can anything be done about this? Like, there's this disconnect with my students, and there's a disconnect with my, colleagues. Is there anything that can be anything that can be done about this? And I had just felt like I was giving up. And I thought that, for me, I thought, okay, if I'm just more direct with people, then they will understand what I'm saying. If I just speak the words, right, people will know, they will understand. But it just wasn't enough. So I also thought, right, just because, everybody tells you this, I thought that if I learned how to be more proficient with technology, especially with the Gen Zers, that would be enough. Oh, here's these technology resources, use these in your classes to engage your students, and voila, everything will be fine. But that's not the case. It didn't work. None of it worked. There were too many bells and whistles, and there just wasn't enough substance in anything that I could really like grab and hold on to, right? There was just not enough insight. There's not enough information on how I can bridge this gap. How can I communicate better? How can I influence people in a positive way? How? There's none of it, right? So I just, I thought, okay, I said everybody just has different thoughts and different values than me, and that's just gonna be it, right? And there's no common ground, and I've tried everything, right? That was sort of my mindset. I tried every sort of professional development, I researched online, but nothing really helped me to be able to communicate better and understand, really what makes people tick. And then one day I learned, and it just clicked. And it's awesome. Because I learned what motivates people. I can totally see all these generational things happening. It's incredible, right? I understand now why they say and do the things that they do. And most importantly, I know how to respond in such a way and influence people and teach people to, in a positive way now. I can communicate and feel understood and make the other person feel understood as well. And it's incredible. It's incredibly empowering. So, I'll let you in on a little secret. It has just a little bit to do with what their influences are. It also has to do with in what order those influences came into their lives. And it has a little bit to do with the values that they share. So here's my call to action. If you want this training, click on the link to register. And I guarantee you're going to learn a ton, and it's really going to be beneficial for you. So I'm excited to work with you and give you some really practical, specific, and tailored advice to meet your needs, no matter which generation you are. So if you want in, go ahead and click the link below to register, and I'm super excited to be working with you. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.